Hello everyone, for today we will be discussing learning management system such as Google Classroom and Edmodo. Let us first know what is Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a learning management system that aims to simplify creating, distributing, and grading assignments and engaging students in learning online or remotely. Let us also know what is Edmodo. Edmodo is a free learning management platform that merges classroom content, safe communication, and assessment with social media savvy. Let us now move on to their similarities and differences. First, let us know how to set up an account using both LMS. And then, how to create an account with Google Classroom and Edmodo. First, let's take a look at Google Classroom. As you can see, I have already an account in here. That's why we only need to find the Google Classroom app in here. We just have to click the Google Classroom. Then wait until it opens. To join or create a class, you just have to find the plus sign and then choose whether to join a class or create a class. I choose to create a class, so it means that I will be the teacher in this class. After this, you need to click continue and then fill out the given data here with class name, section, subject, and the room. After that, you have finally created a class. You can see here the class that you have created. And here's the screen where you can see the class name, subject, section, and the class code. As you can see, you can communicate with your class here in the stream. You can create and schedule announcement and respond to students' posts. We also have here the class code and you can zoom it, and then you can see here the copy invite link which you can send it to your students so that they can join the class. Let's now take a look at Edmodo. To create an account on Edmodo, you have to search it on Google and find the teacher to sign up to create an account. Afterwards, you have to choose your location. And then, you have to sign up as a teacher with Google or Microsoft or with an Apple account. In my case, I use a Google account. And then I choose an account in here. So it means na ito na po yung gagamitin kong account sa pag-create ng class sa Edmodo. After signing up, you have to complete your profile with your name and your surname. And then tada! Welcome to Edmodo. Let's get started. To create a class in Edmodo, you can find it here, and then you can also create a group with parents or your co-teachers. Let's now try to create a class. You have to fill out the name of your class, description, select a grade, and you can also select a subject and change the color. After filling it out, you can now click create. And then, you have now successfully created a class. You can also see here the class code, and then you can zoom it. You can also choose whether you will share the class code, share as a PDF, or invite them by email so that they can join the class that you created in Edmodo. Here in Edmodo, you can create your student's account ahead of time with their first name, last name, and their emails so that you can organize the list of your students. In Edmodo, they allow us to add a class image which is similar to Google Classroom. As you can see, you can upload a theme. You can select a theme that you preferred to. If you do not prefer to choose a theme given in here, you can also choose a photo and upload it, and it will serve as a theme of your class. Let's now explore how can we post and send announcement and materials. Let's now first do it in Google Classroom. As you can see, you can choose whether you wanted to post a plain text or you wanted to add a link or file with it. Both the students and the teachers can also comment on the post. Now let's see how can we do it in Edmodo. So here we can also type a plain text, or maybe you can add a photo or a link or a file. The same with Google Classroom, you can also schedule your post in Edmodo. You can change the time and the date if you wanted to edit it. The only difference is that Google Classroom doesn't have like this feature, which is the poll and then the wellness check. This is how you do the poll. You have to create a question and add an options. You can also schedule the post regarding the poll. So here's the poll that you have created, and you can also see here how many students have already voted. Let's now take a look at the wellness check. So here's the wellness check. You can add here a question, and then there is a given options here. Again, you can also monitor whether the students have already voted or not. They can also like and comment on it. Let me now explore the features in sending assignments and activities. Google Classroom, there is only one process that you will follow. The same with what I have done a while ago, which is posting an announcement. You can also post here quizzes, assignments, and activities with the same process. You can post a plain text, or you can add a file or a link accompanied with it.
Audio Jungle.
As you can see here, you can add from Google Drive a link or a file, and you can also add a material from YouTube. And here's how you add a file from your computer. Again, you can also schedule here the announcement of the activities and assignments that you will be posting.
Audio Jungle.
Unlike Google Classroom, Edmodo have its separate feature of making and posting an assignment. This is how you make an assignment in Edmodo. Again, you can also add a file, a link, or a photo with it. We can also set the due date of the assignment and then lock it after the due date.
Audio Jungle.
So here is the assignment that you have posted, and then you can also monitor whether how many students have already submitted. The same with Google Classroom, you can also monitor here how many students have turned in, not turned in, and how many students have you already graded. In Edmodo, both the students and the teachers can like and comment on the post, and then here in Edmodo, you can also comment a photo or an image, unlike Google Classroom. Now, let me introduce you the best features of Edmodo based on my experience and observations. Edmodo has these special features of creating and posting a quiz in the class. Unlike Google Classroom, here in Edmodo, you can directly create a quiz and post it on the class. Here's how you can create the quiz and post it. You can also make different types of questions in here, such as multiple choice, true or false, matching types, and others. You will also give the correct answers and supply the corresponding grading points in the specific question. You can also add different types of questions in one quiz. So it means that in one quiz, there are many categories that you can add. You can also select the due date and then the time limit, and then you can also lock it after the due date. Another best features for me of Edmodo is the feature of Discover, wherein you can see here a lot of different videos and links as a learning material for your class, wherein you can use it directly even without browsing the YouTube. Unlike Google Classroom, you have to browse the YouTube and then the Google and then copy the link on it so that you can post it on Google Classroom. But here, you can directly copy the link or view it directly in the Edmodo class. Here's one of the examples. You can copy the link that you chose and then post it on the feed of your Edmodo class. Another is the hashtag, which is not present in Google Classroom. Here, you can use the hashtag to find resources which are related to your lessons. The hashtag will connect you to the related studies and articles and posts that you are looking for. Let's now take a look at the best features of Google Classroom. For me, its best feature is that it is easy to manipulate. The advantage of Google Classroom is that it is not complex. According to many, both teachers and students will find it easier to use Google Classroom than Edmodo. To conclude, I have here questions to answer. How can LMS help both teacher and students? First is that it helps teacher in sending learning and instructional materials, in giving an assignments, activities, or quizzes to the students, and vice versa. It helps the students to receive those learning materials even in a distance. Another question is that how can LMS be used as a teaching aid and instructional materials in education? First, it can be used to manage and deliver instructional materials and resources online, and it increases course engagement and interactions as well as tracking and assessing student academic performance. In an online class, LMS serves as a supplement and reinforces face-to-face instruction and learning experiences. On the other hand, when it comes to face-to-face learning, those LMS can still be used as a support for the activities and for the distribution of learning materials to make it more convenient both for the teachers and the students. In general, both Google Classroom and Edmodo serve as an important LMS for the teachers in supplementing their classroom lessons and instructions. With both platforms, teachers can organize their course content, track assignment status, and communicate with the students. That's all. Thank you.